Hi, I am Dr. Karina Felix. I am a metaphysicist and a quantum frequency specialist. I usually work with high achieving, high net worth and entrepreneurs because they've taken care of the money issue, but they have not yet integrated that wealth frequency into their nervous system. And that is big, big part of the evolution of the soul and the human experience. And in this new series of A Frequency of More, I hope to get really deep dive into what that means in your life, in your expansion, in what's blocking you, what's keeping you from moving forward. And what I really want to share here is that we're totally in a whole new spiritual paradigm shift. It's not the way it used to be and meant to be. So when they wrote the New Testament, it was a story of Jesus coming to share that it's time for a spiritual shift. The way we used to do spirituality, which was based on fear and doom and gloom and damnation. And that's not what Jesus came here to teach. He came here to teach love and harmony and respect and kindness. So, what happened? What happened along the way? Well, what happened was people are always looking for tangible, show me proof. Not everyone just have that built-in faith that, oh, I'm just going to go with the flow and it's gonna just work out all fine. Um, that's really not how it works, and that's really not what's happening. So when Jesus came to say, okay, no more of that old fear anymore, society says, yeah, but give us proof. So in the last century, the scientists went out to find proof. And they all went out, they all did the research, and we have it all astrology and astrophysicists, and we have quantum mechanics. And then we finally had quantum physics. And what quantum physics did was just took all of that Eastern philosophy, meditation, um, mind over matter, um, law of attraction. They took all those laws and figure out what are they? Are they really true? Are they accurate? And guess what? They are. So the sages and the mysticists and the gurus from the past, they already knew that. But human beings, we want proof, we want tangible proof. So the scientists went out and they did the proof. And now we have the proof. So what I'm saying is it is time for a whole new paradigm shift in spirituality. We have the knowledge, we have the wisdom, we have the proof. So what else? What now? What are we waiting for now? What's that next level of expansion we get to go into? And I'm hoping on this channel, no, I trust that in this channel, I will be able to break down the frequency of more, because that's where the next evolution is taking us. Because we have the answers. We need to just stop seeking, stop asking, stop going after stuff, because that's not where the manifestation lives. The manifestation lives within you. So when you say, I'm going to use the law of attraction uses frequency, it uses energy that we know, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla says to understand the universe, you have to think in energy, frequency, and vibration. So I have been studying, researching, I think since I was put on this earth. And I've always had questions because nothing made sense. And I grew up in the Catholic Church and Catholic school and Catholic household. And even at a young age, I thought, something here does not add up. And I am going to figure it out at some point. And believe me, I have spent my whole life figuring it out. I have jumped from religion to all kind of modalities. I have done it all. I've studied all. I've even gotten a degree in metaphysical science because I needed to understand the foundation of what this is all about. So this is what I want to share. And it's interesting because we say we have to go inward to manifest what we want on the outside. But we still have to become practical. Point about the universal laws is to understand it and then use it in our everyday life. And we cannot live in a life meditating. We're not monks. We're not living in the caves in the Himalayan mountains. That would be nice, but we can't live forever in an ashram. And even in an ashram, there's work to be done. So, how do we take all of that Eastern philosophy, all of that universal laws, and how do we bring it into our everyday life? How do we live it? Okay, so what I want to explain here with the frequency, the energy, the vibration is that what we put out comes back to us. So if you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to leave this up to the universe, let the universe take care of me. The universe cannot take care of you because the universe is waiting for you to tell it what you want, because that's how it works. We are the receiver, but we are also the transmitters. We are transmitting consistently, right? So let's see if we can break this down. So we understand how frequency work, right? We understand how a radio station is. So we have the transmission of frequency, so the one that's sending it out, and then we have the receiving. Let's say receiving. And the receiving is coming in. So we're sending it out, we're sending out a transmission, and we are receiving from, let's say, the universe. right? So the universe only gives us what we already putting out there. So if you're not putting out a desire, a dream, a wish, then the universe don't know what you want. So some things will fall into place, but we live in a universe of expansion, of growth, of more. And our soul came here to grow and expand and actually to elevate its frequency. Because every time you elevate your frequency, you're going into a different dimension. And I know, again, many people believe dimensions is something out there, universe, sky, I don't know where. Every experience that we are having, every knowledge, every wisdom is happening in here. It's happening to you. It's happening to your aura. It's all here. There's nothing else happening out there. The soul's mission is a solo mission. It came here for one thing and one thing only, to elevate its frequency. And when it elevates its frequency, it moves into a different dimension. That's where the dimension is. That's how the frequency works. So when it moves into this new dimension, our aura, our energy moves with it. But here's the thing, we are a soul having a human experience, right? Soul having human experience. What's the human experience? The human experience is just to be happy, to be at ease, to be at peace, right? Right. So if our ultimate goal is peace and ease, harmony, love, comfort, then how are we going to get to that point, right? So this is how it works. When you transcend into a new frequency, you're also moving into a new dimension. And when you get to the dimension, we have to take a moment to have the body, the nervous system also has to adjust and move into that frequency, right? I just had someone came to fix my internet, and and when asking, well, did you have problems? I said, yeah, it was kind of not working for a while there, and they came and changed the box, and then I had problems. And he said, simple. He goes, because when we put the new box, it was sending out a different signal at a different frequency. So my old stuff that's not compatible no more wasn't picking it up. So my internet service was not doing well. It was cutting off all the time. And I thought, that's exactly what's happening to us. Every time we move into this new frequency, we have to upgrade the hard drive. We are the hard drive. Just remember, we are the transmission and the receiver. So if we're not upgrading our system, then instead of enjoying the bliss, the peace of moving into this new space, it becomes heavy. It shows up like depression, feeling down, lethargic, not in the mood to do anything, uninspired. And there is nothing wrong with that space, because what your nervous system is telling you, that it's just time to take a break, to relax, to stop hustling, to really be in tune with the change that's happening, not just in your mind, but as well in your body. And we are psychophysical people. And let me explain how that works. I'll do it right now. We'll turn the page. So, what I want to say to you, you only have one mission on this earth. And all the other stuff are tasks, to-do list. But you only have one mission. And the question of all time is, why are we here? What's my purpose? What is this all about? Why? What am I supposed to do with my life? Right? So we're always looking for a purpose. Oh, I'm going to help this and I'm going to do this. But the truth is, there is one purpose. And that purpose is, oops, your soul's mission. Your soul came here with one goal. And that goal is to elevate its it came to elevate its frequency. I hope you guys could see this. I hope it's clear enough. It came here to elevate its frequency because the ultimate goal of the soul is to be in a place of bliss. Peace, ease, joy, bliss, peace, ease. And the only way that the soul can accomplish this is having a human experience. This is why the soul keeps coming back to earth, comes back to earth to experience living as a human, because this is the only place it could elevate its frequency. Cannot do it out there. And when it leaves, when we die, when it moves on, right? Whatever frequency it leaves at, it comes back at that same frequency to continue building, expanding, growing. Right? Are you getting this? Are you understanding how this works? So when you understand there's just one cycle, and that cycle is the soul makes a decision before coming to earth. And it already decided what kind of experience I need to go through to help me expand and grow and become more. I need to know who I need to be around, those who are going to influence this knowledge and this wisdom, who is going to help you. So you look at your life, and good or bad, that's irrelevant, but you look at your life and say, okay, what did I came here to do? Who are my parents? Who are my siblings? Where was I born? Who influenced me? How was school? How was friends? And from there, you can understand, or at least get really knowledge of what you, just your journey, because the soul's journey, it's a solo journey. It's not here to help others and do all of this exterior stuff. It's really all about you. Okay. And it's all about you, your journey, your experience, and what you are learning while you're here. Because the one and only thing you get to take with you on the other side is your wisdom, is your knowledge, is your frequency. This doesn't go anywhere. This is here forever, right? The human experience, the human body, our physical body, that has a timeline. And that's what I wanted to share. So let me break this down even more for you. Remember, the soul has one mission. And the soul will come back over and over again. There is no ending. So this is how we do the Xfinity sign, because it just loops around, because energy cannot be destroyed, right? We know that. So the soul comes back over and over and over. It's just, and each time it gets to graduate to the next level. But the human, has a timeline from your first inhale to your last exhale. That's the timeline of the human physical body, right? We're talking about the physical body here. So from your first inhale to your last exhale, that is your timeline. It's limited, it's short, and it will be repeated over and over again, right? So the soul comes to earth to elevated frequency so it could get to the highest possible bliss, joy, peace, ease, and it has to use the human body, and I'm going to say the body, specifically the body. It has to use the body during that time to learn or to experience. But the ultimate, really ultimate goal that the body, that the soul is looking forward to doing is we keep hearing about body, mind, soul, and they are treated separate. Body, biology, mind, psychology, soul, spirituality. But the truth is, we cannot treat them as separate entities. They are one. And our mission here on earth is how to integrate these three so that you can live the frequency of more. So you can understand, what do I need to do to get to this place where it's not just a soul having a human experience, is we're having this experience. We are part of the soul. We keep treating the soul like it's separate from this body. But this body is an avatar. And I'm sure if you're a gamer and you create, and not just a gamer, but we see that in social media, you create an avatar that looks like you and the hair and everything else. We are the avatar to our soul. When our soul came here, it also designed what we're going to look like and be like and experience. So the soul, this is the journey because the body plus the mind plus the soul, that's where getting to enlightenment is an experience where duality, separation doesn't exist anymore. Can you imagine where nothing bothers you anymore and everything makes sense to you? And that's this is our true journey. Our true journey is to integrate our body, mind, and soul, create that one entity, not three separate entities, one, just one. And from there, because at this point, we can move into that next dimension. So every time the soul comes back, this is what it is trying to do. It is trying to connect with us. So remember, I talked about being not just frequency, but we are the transmitters and the receivers. So the body, whenever it feels something, it sends a message to the mind. The mind gets this message, it breaks it down. Oh, okay. There's something bad happening. Let's kick in that fight or flight. And when the mind goes, okay, we have to, fight or flight because there's a change coming, there's something bad happening, then the mind sends a message back to the body and says, get ready. We're going to war. We're going to fight. And the nervous system tense up. The nervous system, the blood vessels, the heart, the lungs, the organ, everything reacts to change. We mostly live in fight or flight because all day there's change. And we have to get used to not getting triggered by change, right? That's the difficult part because we've been trained to react, to take things personal, to be always on guard. That's where the journey is. That's the part we have to get through, right? So this cycle is ongoing all day long. The mind sending message to the body sending message back. Back and forth, back and forth. That's why they said we are psychophysical people. Our body and mind is constantly communicating with each other. Therefore, we have to be very careful what we're allowing into our minds because it does directly affect your health. And when your health is not where it's supposed to be, it is very hard to do anything else. But we'll get into that after. So the body speaks to the mind speaks to the body. But the mind also speaks to the soul, and the soul speaks to the mind. So we're having all of this communication going on at all time. And the soul is spending practically its whole life that you're here on earth figuring out How can I get into this mind and remind you of why you are here? So you start meditating, you start doing yoga, you start grounding, you're doing sound healing, you're doing all of these spiritual modalities just to be able to communicate with your soul. Not guides, not angels, your soul. And your soul works really hard to get your attention. The good thing is, the soul is really, really, really patient. It is so patient. And believe me, I've been through this journey for such a long time, and I have learned to be patient and to take my time and to move slowly and to be aware. So when you say I was awakened, what you did was open up just a tiny bit of that portal so that the soul can start reminding you why we are here, right? So once the soul starts to connect with the mind, and the mind now starts telling the body, we're okay, what's happening is not crazy. There is a mission back here. Let's now work together so we can get to this peace, ease, joy, enlightenment. So I am going to wrap this up. What I showed you today was just part of the big picture. And with the following episodes, I will break them down into even smaller pieces so you could understand the soul's journey, the human experience, and our ultimate purpose and destination. And before that, I want to offer you a gift from my Success Formula series. And to get you on your frequency ascension, check in the description, and there is a link that you can get the self-assessment formula, and it will give you a little deep dive on where you are right now in your journey. And I hope this helps you start really thinking of what that next step is for you. And again, thank you so much. I am Dr. Karina Felix, and I'm here to help you elevate your frequency. So don't forget, hit subscribe and the notifications so you always get updates on my next upcoming videos. Bye, guys.